Welcome to Scare Talk, a horror movie podcast for horror film reviews, ratings, rankings, and rumors. Now for your hosts, Danny, Joel, and Katrina.
Oh, yeah. This is Scare Talk. I am Danny, and I'm here with quiet Katrina. And we've got Jovial Joel.
Hey, guys, what's up?
Yeah, Joel
Jovial.
is
Okay, that's
jovial.
That's quite the name.
Yeah.
So today we are back to discuss a movie that's been out for about a week now. And so this day one. So Joel, can you tell us who is a part of it?
Maybe I can. So this one stars Lupita Nyong'o. She was in Us, which is like the second movie we ever reviewed.
Okay.
Also Little Monsters, which was a Hulu movie, which I did like.
Oh yeah.
I got excited for a second. There's a better Little Monsters.
Have you seen the other Little Monsters? I don't
No, but I can guarantee you that the other one's better.
She was in the Black Panther 1 and 2 and 12 Years a Slave. And then we got Joseph Quinn. He was an Overlord, which I think we should do sometime. That's a good movie. It's like a World War II horror movie. 8 episodes of Stranger Things, the last season of Stranger Things. He was Eddie.
Oh, okay.
He was in, apparently this was a miniseries in 2019, but he was in 3 episodes of Les Mis. So that was something. That was a thing. And upcoming, he's going to be in Gladiator 2.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, wow. They're making
Apparently,
a Gladiator 2.
Yeah. Same director, Ridley Scott's coming back for it, too. It's going to be interesting. And for MCU Marvel fans, he's going to be in Fantastic Four. He's going to be Johnny Storm.
Oh.
So Stranger Things really upped his his credits here.
Yeah.
He's going to be in. And we've got Alex Wolff. He was the nurse who was in a good portion of the movie. He was in Old, Hereditary, and the first 2 new Jumanji movies. So he looked much older in this than he did in Hereditary. I know he was like a kid in that, but like I don't know. I know that was like 2017, so I guess technically it's 7 years old. But
yeah.
I don't know. For some reason, he looks a lot older in this than that. But this was written by Michael Sarnowski. He did the screenplay and the story, and he wrote Pig, which was a Nicolas Cage movie. I've heard of it, but I've never seen it. Olympia, which was a TV series, and 3 episodes of Fight Night Legacy. I don't know that one. And John Krasinski did the story for this movie.
He did.
Yeah. Okay. He didn't write it, but I guess the story was his idea. He wrote the first 2 Quiet Place movies, If, which just came out recently, and The Promised Land, which was a Matt Damon movie. That was a few years old now. And then this was directed by Michael Sarnowski, who directed Pig and 5 episodes of Olympia and the 3 episodes of Fight Night Legacy. So,
okay.
All right. So, synopsis here: a woman named Sam finds herself trapped in New York City during the early stages of an invasion by alien creatures with ultra-sensitive hearing. So, woman named Sam.
Yes, Sam and her cat.
Yeah, Sam and the cat.
That's a Nickelodeon show.
Sam and Cat, yeah.
All right. So this movie's been out for about a week. So we should have a decent amount of reviews to look at. So audience saying about this?
Yeah, I am going to tell you a little bit more than just the two that we usually do.
Okay.
Because it is interesting, the variation in scores.
Okay.
So Rotten Tomatoes, we've got for a tomato meter, it's got an 87%.
Okay.
Pretty darn good.
Yeah.
Then we've got for the audience score 73%.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Still pretty good. IMDb, you've got 6.8.
Okay.
Now then you go to the audience rating on Google and it's out of 5 and you've got a 2.8.
Okay. So that's 56.
Yeah.
2.8.
So,
yeah. Yeah.
How many does it say how many?
2,613.
Okay.
What's interesting is it shows like how many 5s, how many 4s, how many 3s, how many 2s, how many 1s.
Yeah.
You've got like a bunch of 1s and a bunch of 5s.
Okay.
And so it's either you like really didn't like it or you really loved it.
I don't
What
know how
that
you can give
means-
this
You
a
in
1.
between.
I don't know how you can give it a 1.
Yeah.
I could see how
What-
people could give it a 5, but not a
Yeah.
1.
What that
I could
means.
see yeah. What
That
mean,
means
Joel?
is people saw a bunch of 5s and was like, this isn't a 5, and just gave it a 1. That's basically what that means.
Bring
Or
it
people
down.
saw that was a 1 and like, this is way better than a 1 and gave it a 5 just to like skew the. So, yeah, it's a lot of
So
sometimes they do that kind of thing and it gets really annoying.
yeah. And so it's interesting because on this you can see what the review is for the 1s and for the 5s and all that.
Mm-hmm.
So looking at one of the 1s, it looks like they had really high expectations after the first movies and it let them down. And so I think that I feel like that is a common thing. If you go in with high expectations,
Mm-hmm.
you're bound to be let down.
But that much though, that's a lot to just be like, I was let down, so it's a 1. Like that's kind of ridiculous.
Yeah. I will tell you, this is definitely not a 1 movie.
No.
I could see scores in between, but I can't see a 1. I can see a 5. I could see people really, really liking it.
Mm-hmm.
But a 1 is like, this is one of the worst movies I've seen.
Yeah.
Like that's what a 1 would mean to me.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
And that is just, that doesn't make sense to me. So I could even see a 2, 3, 4. I could see that.
Yeah.
But not
a
1.
Yeah.
So
So I'm seeing 2 more that said high expectations. They highly anticipated the movie.
yeah.
That's not the movie's fault. That's your fault. Like,
Well,
that's
here's
your
the
fault
thing.
going into.
I did not expect this movie to do well.
Yeah.
I
I had
was
low expectations. for this.
dreading
Yeah.
this movie. I was not
No, you
excited
didn't
to
want
see
to
it.
see it.
I didn't. I was like,
Yeah.
I'm only seeing this because I have to. And I just had very low expectations. They were not raised. Like I didn't like come out like, oh, that was better than I expected. But I was already planning on it not being good. And so
Well, you kind of.
I wouldn't give it like a 1 because it
Yeah.
wasn't supposed to be that great. It's like we've already gotten the story. Why do we need to go back now to day 1? Unless you're going to really add to the story and really make it connect or add like this big, I don't know. You had to do something big to make this a good movie.
So
Well-
let's definitely make sure we're not spoiling anything. So
Yeah.
we're staying away from spoilers. If you want
Am I
to
spoiling?
Well, I don't. You might be reaching into the spoiler
Okay.
territory. Dipping your toes. So, go to patreon.com/scaretalk and sign up. You can get 7 days free, and then you can hear all the spoilers for this one. And I think there's a few that we might argue about, so that might be fun. We'll see.
Yeah.
So Joel, what were you gonna say?
I was just gonna say, going in with a mindset that this movie is gonna be really good can definitely like skew your perception of it. But also going into the movie knowing it's gonna suck can also skew your opinion of it as well. So I feel like you still didn't give it a fair chance, but we'll go into that as we go.
we will get there.
So, yeah, when having low expectations, and this is just kind of something I've noticed with myself and with other reviewers for sure. I wouldn't say I'm as guilty of this, but you can. So I'm guilty of having low expectations, and then the movie being a little better than my expectation, and then I really like it. You know, I could see that. But I could also see, and I see this from reviewers, going in with low expectations and then not giving it a chance automatically, like, oh, this isn't going to be good. I'm going to watch it with such a negative mindset that I'm not going to find anything positive about it. And I feel like an example that I always go back to is The Grudge from 2020. That movie had a lot of hate even before it came out, and it was not that bad. And people were so just negative on it right off the bat, and I felt like that movie had something to offer to the franchise. So anyways, that we did a review on that a long time ago. You can go back and listen to my thoughts on that. But
scroll on through down to the,
like episode 3 or something. So I will say I was not looking forward to this one so much. I didn't feel like I really cared about day one of A Quiet Place. We already got that in A Quiet Place 2. We got a little bit of it. And then going and seeing different characters, I was like, I kind of want to go back to the characters that we already are familiar with. We're going to get new characters now. I don't know if I'm interested in different characters. So I wasn't expecting a lot from this movie. I was expecting, a lot of special effects, a lot of explosions, a lot of the monsters, a lot of like action. That's kind of what I was expecting. And that's what I thought the movie was basically only going to be. And there was more to it than that. So I will give it that. There was a pretty substantial story to be told. And I can kind of, as I thought about this over the last few days, we were going to review it. I can kind of relate to the female character, the main character, with her just need for that nostalgia that she's looking for.
Yeah.
So I can kind of relate to that. I don't think that I would have made the same decision that she made, that she was dead set on doing. Well, in this, like, I would be a little more like, let's, escape rather than what she decided to focus on.
You would have just like dropped to the ground and freeze.
Or that I could have just fallen to the ground, or I would have maybe hid or something. But I feel like there would be more of a sense of urgency to me to escape the situation rather than look for this nostalgia. In her condition, without the monsters, just her condition, yes, I would be all about that. But with the monsters in play, I don't think I would spend time.
But why? But why not? Because she doesn't.
Because I'm not trying to get killed.
But she doesn't have anything.
This is where I don't want to say too much because her entire character is a spoiler. So
Well, is it not in the description?
They don't let us know.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
We don't know until the movie starts what's going on with her. So
I do feel like it's kind of lazy a little bit when you put a character like right off the bat in the movie like this to make the audience feel for that character. You know, it's kind of like, okay, we get it, you know.
Yeah.
We're supposed to feel bad for her right off the bat, and it's like,
and I agree, and I feel like it also, to me, it didn't feel genuine. It didn't feel, I didn't buy it. I didn't feel for it because I just feel like it didn't, and I don't know exactly how to put my finger on it, but it just didn't feel
manufactured. It's kind of like just,
yeah, and it felt like a story that's being told to me, but I can tell it's not real. Like, I don't know, it just didn't seem genuine. I didn't feel like it seemed genuine. And I felt like it was trying too hard. It was like you're adding things in that are obvious. Okay, this is supposed to be a tearjerker. This is supposed to grab us here. This is, you know, it was just obvious and trying too
subtle.
hard.
Wasn't subtle.
Yeah. And
yeah. So Joel, I know you really liked it. I can tell by the look on your face. No, Joel put out a TikTok, and I could tell that he was a big fan. So,
well, just, you know,
let's hear what you want to say about it.
Let's hear.
Okay. Lately, we haven't really been getting good movies in theaters, and compared to like what's coming in the future, like big names, big titles that I feel like are going to do really well. My TikTok was basically just saying that if this has any indication of what the future of the next 6 months is going to hold, I have high hopes for the movies in the future. Yes, I did really like this, and I think, and it's like a lot of the stuff that I want to say about it, I can't, because it is a very character-driven story in which a big portion of why it's a character-driven story is a spoiler in the fact that, you know, what's going on with these characters. And
so did you like the story?
I love the story. I thought the story was great. We got enough of the creature attacks. You know, we got a few pretty big scenes of that. We saw a good portion. We saw like a lot of what they looked like and everything. So I feel like in order to give us something different, something new, something that prequels don't usually do, you need to just give us a good story to throw in there. Like a lot of these prequels, it's just rinse and repeat. It's just the same stuff. We did learn one thing about the creatures I don't think we knew before. But yeah, I mean, otherwise it's just day one of this creature apocalypse, basically.
Yeah.
And the creature scenes were cool. That there was tension, there was suspense in there. But it may have seemed artificial or whatever, but I mean, it got me. It got a lot of people, actually, the whole story to it. I heard like several reviews of that, like it made people cry. And I will admit, I teared up at the end too. Like I didn't cry, but I teared up for sure.
Yeah.
And there was just, hey, I'm sorry, I like good stories. And
we're just
good.
Yeah, we're just
good
so
acting.
hard-hearted.
I thought the acting was really good for them not like really talking a whole lot. Mm-hmm. And yeah, I definitely was one that bought into I guess everything that was going on. And I was like, I saw this with my dad and he really liked it too. And it was just, I was telling him, I was thinking this during it, I was like, this this is basically just a drama set in the world of Quiet Place, and I'm not mad about that. Like I'm fine with that. It still gave us intense scenes. It still gave us suspense. It still gave us creature attacks. Like it still gave us everything that the other two movies gave us. And the first one was also like a drama as well.
Yeah,
it was about a family of four. It was, so the fact that it being a drama is nothing new to this world.
Yeah. I just feel for those characters, and I connect with those characters more than this movie.
Yeah, much.
It felt more natural, and having the deaf daughter was so crucial to the setup. You know,
yeah, it was. Yeah,
you don't have something like that in this movie, I guess.
Yeah.
Well, you got a cat though. That's. But
what was it? The therapy cat?
Yeah.
Is that what you called it? Yeah. Something like that.
True therapy cat.
Okay. Yeah. So would you say that you liked this more than either of the other two?
So I will say that it's not as much as the first one, but honestly, I don't remember the second one that much. I gotta like rewatch that one again because all of like the scenes and stuff going through my head with the first two Quiet Place movies, I'm pretty sure it's just from the first movie. So I've seen the second one like a couple of times, but I don't remember it. So that's not really a good start to whether or not that was a better movie than this. I will remember the characters in this one more than A Quiet Place Part 2. Part 1, maybe not, because their family dynamic was really good. And they had that a little bit in the second one, but from what I remember, the family was split up like most of that movie. So like they weren't together as a unit, especially one character in that movie really wasn't in it. But but so like the characters in this one, I thought they did a really good job, and I do buy that she would like the whole reason she wanted to go downtown was for this mission that she was on, that she was like, I'll talk about it more in spoilers because I don't know what I can and can't say about that particular side mission. but I totally get it. I totally got what she was going for, and I bought it. So I mean, I want them. Apparently, they're working on A Quiet Place Part 3 with John Krasinski back in like I think he's directing it and writing it. So, they can continue their A Quiet Place stories, like the main story. I honestly don't mind these side stories because there's even a part towards the beginning where like you see the globe and like all like the major cities, I guess, that are being attacked. So this to me is kind of like Cloverfield, where they could just take different groups of people and just like give stories about what happened when the world fell apart, or the creatures were destroying the world. So I wouldn't mind these side stories as long as the story is good and as long as the acting is still good. I'm all for it. So
okay, maybe A Quiet Place Part 3 can kind of include some of the characters in Day One.
Well, Day One did have that one actor from Part 2, I think.
Yes, and that's what I was going to talk about, but I didn't know if that was going to be a spoiler, Mr. Joel.
He's in it for like 5 minutes.
I wouldn't mind A Quiet Place Part 3 following him and his family.
Yeah.
Because that was at least a connection.
Yeah.
And that was something I was looking for, was like some kind of connection between.
Yeah, it was brief, but yeah, it was there.
Very brief. That was probably the main thing I appreciated of the movie, though. Like the number one thing that the one positive
Yeah, I feel like if you're gonna do a prequel, you have to make it matter in the franchise.
Yeah.
You know.
Yeah.
Like, otherwise, you're just doing like, I don't know, survival horror. We've seen a million of those. You know, we've seen so many monster attack apocalypse movies. So I mean, this one's, you know, got a unique take on like the whole you know, their hearing is how they find you and stuff, but we're already done 2 movies of that. So you have to bring something new to the franchise, and this movie, it brings a new story, new characters, but it doesn't bring anything else. And so that's probably my biggest negative, is it doesn't impact the franchise very much. But I will say that the story is good, but I'd rather watch the first 2 than watch this one, because it just doesn't really matter at the end of the day for the franchise. And I was just like, why are they doing a prequel to this?
Yeah.
Already, you know?
Well, John Krasinski is working on If, and he probably didn't have much time.
Yeah.
They're like, we need to get something out there quick.
And he worked on If.
Yeah, she loved If.
So the thing is I think it did have a good story. I just did not like how it was executed. I don't know. I don't know if it was the pace or the writing or the acting. I don't know. I just did not buy it. I just didn't.
Okay. All right. Well, I think we've given our positives and negatives here. Joel, you didn't say anything negative. You just loved it, huh?
I didn't. I just said what was in my heart.
Yeah.
At the time.
Man.
Follow your heart, Joel. Follow
your heart.
Yes.
I will
exactly.
say that I will admit that I did go into it not excited about it, and I was very tired and already like,
oh yeah, you were kind of dozing off too.
Yeah, I was struggling. With.
I have homework for you.
I forgot about that.
Before we do our top 10 of the year, watch it one more time.
Yeah.
See if you still have this opinion
again.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah. I think it'll be a good one for a second watch.
Yeah, definitely.
See if we can get more into it.
Stay awake.
Yeah. All right. So let's give our scores and then we'll get into spoilers. So let's who should we start with? I'm gonna start. I'm gonna give it an 80.
Wow.
Yeah.
Okay.
I mean, I think it's a good movie.
Like a 60.
Like it's not a bad movie, like at all. But it's not a great movie to me. So I'm gonna put it like where I typically put movies that I enjoyed, but I wasn't overly excited about. And that's gonna be low 80s. So I'm gonna give it an 80.
Okay.
Joel.
Oh.
All right. Well, this is a hard one because
100%.
No,
Yeah,
no, not 100. I would say probably a 90 though.
Okay.
It gave me everything that I was expecting A Quiet Place prequel to give, and even more because, like I said, it did make me tear up at the end. So
yeah, I mean,
there was a little
in
a horror movie. Yeah.
Is it horror though? Like, did we feel
it's a drama horror?
Yeah, like I said, it's a drama set inside the world of A Quiet Place, but there was still tension and suspense in that movie. Yeah, like there were still moments.
I mean,
just kind of taking people away, killing them. I mean,
Yeah.
But like,
it classifies as horror for sure.
Yeah. So when I heard that people were like crying during this movie, I was like, really, in a horror movie? But
yeah,
I got it. I understand, and maybe I'll even talk about that scene that got me. So who knows? I'm sorry.
I was a little worried that the reason people were crying was something else, and that was gonna annoy me if that was why. But it wasn't that, and I'll say what I thought it was gonna be in the spoilers.
Okay, because I'm curious about that myself.
Yeah.
Yes, I was thinking you were right about what
Okay.
you thought it was going to be. And then like during the movie, I was like, oh, here it is. And then it didn't happen. So, yep. Ooh,
All right, Katrina.
Okay, so Joel already guessed what I was going to say.
Really?
But since he guessed
man.
that, I'll change it.
Gonna go lower.
And I'll give it. No, I won't go lower. But really, I'm like,
no. If it's truly how you feel, then say it.
yeah, I've like really just, I don't know. I just left like, ugh. I just did not. I didn't like the characters. I'm gonna give it. I'll give it a 63 instead of a 60.
All right.
Oh, wow. 3 whole
Okay.
points.
I gave you you a little bit just because of how much joy it brings Joel.
Oh, okay.
Joy and tears it brings Joel.
So this might end up being in your worst of the year.
I don't know.
That's why I want her to watch it one more time, because I want to see.
Yeah, we'll see if my
if it
score
was
goes
just
up.
out of anger that you watched that you
It
hated this movie.
could have just been out of like the my mood in this particular week that we watched it. Maybe it was just I just was not in the right mindset to be watching something like that.
Yeah.
So
Okay. So we got an 80, we got a 90, and we got a 63. All right.
Bringing
So we're
our
all
average
over
down.
the board.
Yeah, I know.
for this
yeah,
one.
just like the review.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, so let's go over to Patreon, patreon.com/scaretalk. Join us over there to talk spoilers. Otherwise, we'll see you next time.
Yes.